Hello, and welcome to Ladies FLINT show today. I pray you all are well and blessed and highly favored. You guys will never know. Happy New Year to you all. May it you receive blessings and good health and all that good stuff. So today I have a queen, one of the queens of queens that I've been trying to get on here. Beautiful inside and out, doing a lot for the community, doing a lot for herself, young at heart, and young and just showing us just how it's supposed to be done. So please, y'all give a round of applause for Miss Kenya Cheney Madison. Y'all show us some love. Yay! My girl, the queen of queens. How are you today?
Oh man, well, before I answer that question, let me just say thank you. Happy New Year to
Happy
you.
New Year,
Happy
my
New
love.
Year to
You're welcome.
Anybody that is receiving this message and watching this this video. But peace and blessings that I bring. I'm well.
Good. You look well too. You look good.
Thank
too.
you.
Look the same. You never age. I need her secret, y'all. I need it. I need
Thank
that secret.
you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You're beautiful too.
Thank you. You so sweet. So sweet. Oh my God, this girl gonna make me melt today. Oh. But you know, I've been trying to get you on for a while. I've been watching the things that you've been doing in the community, and that's what I'm looking for: positivity, inspirational, educational. And before we really get into what you are doing, and I know that you told me you have a lot of passions, but the first thing I want you to give me is, what is your title? How long have you had this title that you are at now? And what does it consist of? And then we're going to get to that point, how you got there, because there's a journey here and you need to tell your story.
All right. Thank you for the rest stop. I'm going to just call this a resiliency rest stop. And thank you for asking about the current place where I am and giving the space to tell the journey. But I'm currently the senior director of Healthier Delray Beach. Healthier Delray Beach. We are a behavioral health initiative. Some people believe that we're a nonprofit organization. We are partnered with one. We are housed with one. And that is Achievement Centers for Children and Family for the first 8 years, and now we're with Pathways to Prosperity in Boynton Beach. So if anybody knows Ricky Petty and Healthier Boynton Beach, then we are counterparts. But that's currently what I do, and I've been doing that since 2019. 2019. Okay. Yep, just before the pandemic. I had about a solid year in the role right before the pandemic came, and so much of the work that I have been able to do from 2019 up until now, it really happened during the pandemic and in response to needs that emerged during the pandemic and that have come up, since we've returned to what people believe to be some sense of normalcy. Okay. So that's where I am now.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I love that, because I'm just going to say this. I was going to wait till later and say this, but, mental health is it's a big issue. Mm-hmm. And I always say, and I'm talking about myself first and foremost, everybody's been through something, and there's nothing wrong with seeking help. I mean, all you got to do is look at what's going on around in the world today, somebody smashing in people at a parade. No, people never saw that coming. I mean, it's just so much. These kids, some kids are killing their parents. That's a mental issue. That's unheard of. I mean, you got these kids going in school shooting children. When we were in school, we just had to learn how to prepare for a tornado or a hurricane. Now these kids have to prepare for a shooter, an active shooter. Unbelievable. But we're going to talk about that. Mm-hmm. So let's just go back a little bit, rewind a little bit. How did you get there? Because I know you started in school, as a school teacher. Yeah. Okay, so correct. Tell me about the school teaching and how far you got up with that level of teaching school or being an advocate for the teachers. I would like for you to tell that story and take your time.
Oh, thank you. That last sentence just allows me to sit back in my seat and prepare to just take you on a journey, if you will. So okay. I'm a Delray girl, born and raised. You know how we know each other. Generationally born and raised. But my college journey took me to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University College of Education, graduate class of 2000.
All right now.
Freshman fall class of 96.
Congrats, look, congrats, baby. You did the thing.
Well, my mama said 4 years and 4 years only, and I was like, dag, I gotta make it all count. And I did. Tallahassee owes me nothing in terms of, you know, the experience. I got it. I understood the assignment, and I came back to give back. And
there it is.
Village Academy is where I started teaching. It opened in the fall of 2000.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes. So that's where we'll begin. Village Academy opened in the fall of 2000. It was a result of advocacy and community advocacy that I had no part of because I was off in college and I was a youth at the time. But those who are pioneers in our community, those who are fierce advocates and always have been on the front lines, said, well, our community needs a school. Our children are being bused into communities where they're not always welcome, where they're not always receiving the best supports. And it takes a culturally competent educator to be able to educate, you know, young minds and
correct.
Underserved and underrepresented population.
Yes, ma'am.
Whether it's Delray Beach or other places. So Village Academy really was a gift. It is a gem. And I just think it was divine timing that I was graduating with my degree from Florida A&M in the span of time that the school was opening. And I taught second grade there for 2 years. The principal that we had at the time, Mrs. Gail Fulford, amazing woman, she saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and she said, you're a leader and I need you to, you know, take these additional courses or take this additional certification, take this additional training.
Right. And
she prepared me along the way, gave me opportunities that I probably wouldn't have asked for.
Wow.
So at that particular time, I was also enrolled in graduate school. I decided to go back to graduate school because I felt the passion for counseling. You said we'll talk about passions later, but helping others and being supportive to others is a passion of mine. But I knew I needed to have, you know, educational foundations in that to do that. So I enrolled in graduate school. I wanted to go back to Florida A&M. I wanted to go back to Tallahassee and get my counseling degrees, but that part wasn't in the cards for me. So all of my graduate degrees, and I got 4 degrees total.
Wow, a superwoman. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. All my graduate degrees are from Barry University in Miami, and so during that span of time is really when I was, I would say, cultivating my craft in a way. I didn't know what it would look like today, but I just said, well, I enjoy being an educator. However, there are communities all around me, not just the one that I live in, that maybe need an education. So I continued to grow myself beyond the classroom walls that I was assigned to, beyond the school boundary that I was assigned to, beyond the district boundary that I was assigned to.
Good for you.
And I'm grateful to every single administrator that I ever had at any school that I worked at, to include being a district level administrator, that saw something in me and gave me an opportunity to continue to grow myself. There were times where I went to conferences and I'm sitting next to leaders from other states or other counties, and we're comparing notes on how are you implementing this practice and how are you supporting families around this particular topic. You mentioned mental health. That's my passion.
Good.
But having the opportunity to not just impact the families where you live, but take that as a strategy, as a best practice, and then turn and share it with someone else in another community. That is utilizing the gift that I was given. And that's where it all came full circle for me. And I said, once I got that opportunity and it felt good in my heart, I felt complete and it tasted sweet, I said, I'm never going back to anything different. Right. Never going back to anything different. And that's how I've arrived at where I am today, building upon being a classroom educator, being a community-based mental health therapist, clinician, utilizing my dual degrees in marriage and family and mental health, group, individual therapy. I got every degree in every counseling. And then I have a specialist degree in educational leadership, which is the equivalent of a doctoral degree, but without the dissertation. I had time to write that paper. I needed to do the work. I was called to do the work.
Right.
So doctor titles don't mean nothing to me. It was about putting my boots on the ground and supporting people.
And walking.
Seeing people for who they are as they are on a Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. Never mind in a textbook or how research based. No, people needed help then and people need help now. Titles don't matter.
Baby. No,
titles don't matter. They matter in certain spaces, but for me to do the work, it did not matter for me at that point in time. That's what I'm saying.
That's beautiful. Y'all hear this. Let me tell you something. I admired you before, but I admire you even more. Because that was perfectly said. Because that's what I look at. Because sometimes people, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. A lot of times when people have all these degrees, it's like okay, well, I'm a doctor and I'm looking down. You can't do that, because when God gives you a space to be in and you have the gifts, because he blesses us all with gifts no matter what they are, it's good to give back, especially back to your community. And like you said, in other communities, we're in this thing called life that God has blessed us with. And we all need to come together because we need each other. Mm-hmm. We need each other. And that is so good that you're using your gifts, many gifts, to do what you're doing. And I'm just so in such awe. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because to be a young lady raised in our community, and you went off and you did your thing. You got your degrees, and you're coming back and giving to your community. You could have went anywhere. You could have went to New York. You could have went to Washington.
I wanted to go away. That was the thing that confirmed for me that home is where I'm supposed to just nurture my gift. While I can share it with others, home is where it was meant to be. Because I had the desire to go off to many and other places.
I'm pretty sure you did.
Oh, man.
I mean, because with that gift right there, you can go anywhere. You have the degrees first and foremost. You have the experience. You have the personality. And most of all, you have the heart. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're just in it, for money, this and this and that. I mean, yeah, we need money to pay our bills and to live. But for you to just come back, and I'm going to reiterate this, to come back in your own community and give back, because, see, people took out time for you. Mm-hmm. See, you said that the first thing you said. You admire all the administrators that was there guiding you, and the lady saw something in you, and she, see, sometimes people can see things in you that you don't see. And she saw greatness in you.
Yeah.
And I'm in such awe. I'm in such awe, because I knew you were doing a lot of things, but this right here and how you're explaining it, none but God. Real talk. Because I know you were born and raised here. I know you come from a good family. I know that you were taught right and everything. And it doesn't matter, life is about choices, and sometimes the choices we make always comes back. Mm-hmm. Always comes back. So it doesn't mean that you're better than anybody. When you're trying to do something in life, sometimes you gotta separate yourself from other things and people, because everybody doesn't see the vision, everybody doesn't see the journey. And that's what my mom used to tell me. Everybody ain't gonna see your vision. So I am just gonna say that again. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So where did you go after you decided to give back to the community? What was it then for you? You said you taught at Village Academy for 2 years, and you went and you got your degrees, and for this class and this class. Where did you go after that?
Oh, okay. So let me be clear. I'm sorry. I spent 16 of my 19 years with the school district at Village Academy.
Okay.
In my span of time, there were the first 4 or 5 years as a classroom teacher and a support specialist teacher. And then I went to Carver Middle School. So I've only really taught at 2 schools. I've only ever worked at 2 schools. And that's Village Academy and Carver Middle School. George Washington Carver Middle School on Barrett Road.
Okay.
Delray Beach, Florida.
Okay. Gotcha. Because you know the old Carver is where our parents went.
Yes,
my mama was a major
Old
redhead.
Carver is where, hey auntie.
Yes.
Old Carver is where my father was a star quarterback in the 60s. But I had the privilege to be able to spend 2 years on Carver's campus as a social studies teacher and as the 6th grade school counselor. My first school counselor role was at Carver Middle School. And then I went back to Village Academy because my heart was...
That's where your heart was. Because
my heart is still there. I was at Village Academy today. They're not going to get rid of me.
No, but that's because you care. And the good thing, and I had Miss Terry on here. Wonderful.
Okay.
I had her on here, and I'm just amazed because when like I told her, my kids when they were in school, they had to go to a regular school. But I love the transition from pre-K to Village. I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
I wish I would have had that privilege, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. But
So that's my trajectory. Seriously, I've only taught at 2 schools in my career, Village Academy and Carver Middle School. And then my final year with the district, I was promoted to a district level administrator as a specialist, support instructional specialist with the Department of Safe Schools. And that is a very important story because that's where my policy work, it was kind of like the intersectionality of my community-based work and my advocacy and all of the work that I bring along with me. Out of a tragedy in Parkland, Florida, on the Valentine's Day school shooting at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, 17 people lost their lives, to include youth and adults. And we were just made painfully aware of the ways that we have not been serving our youth and families appropriately in the vein of mental and behavioral health. There were so many gaps that were exposed during that span of time. And because of my experience both on school campus and in community and as a clinician, I was invited to be a part of a convened task force to interpret Senate Bill 7026 and create policy for the school district. And out of that came the school district Department of Behavioral Health and Mental Health that is now in existence. It didn't exist then. So I'm one of the founders of that, and it's work that I'm proud of, but it's work that pricks my heart because it was birthed of tragedy.
Wow.
17 people lost their lives.
I remember that. That was heartbreaking. And what are the disadvantages you see? I mean, since you've opened this program, what are the disadvantages and the advantages that you see in that program that you just spoke upon?
For the school district?
Yeah, for just this program that you just set and you just implemented for that tragedy.
All right, so as it relates to that, I'm going to just speak very generally because I don't work for the school district anymore.
Right.
I actually work alongside the school district now, and it's a very different perspective, and I can speak more to that.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
But just in general, some of the gaps that I still see is while we have roles of behavioral health professionals, co-located therapists, which is a licensed therapist that works for an agency, but it's housed on a school campus. A behavioral health professional is a person that works on a school campus, isn't embedded there to build relationship with staff, students, and community. There's not enough opportunity for cohesion.
Wow.
It's still very new in its formulated stages. And when you have something that's birthed out of tragedy, you've got to normalize and stabilize things for everyone. You've got to go around and just check, hey, are you okay?
Right.
Are you okay?
And this is one person that does this.
Per campus. Yes, per campus. So
that's not enough.
And that's my point. And so even on a school campus, of course, you still have school counselors. Certified school counselors, many of them serving the roles of testing administrators, master board builders, quasi administrators, just a lot of different stopgaps that a principal might need on their campus. I look at schools like an analogy of, and a fellow school counselor gave me this analogy. She goes, think of every school as its own state, and each principal is the governor, right?
It's a perfect way to look at it.
Every school is its own state, and each principal is the governor. And while we're writing policy, and we have policy that trickles down onto every campus that we expect them to adhere to, sometimes there's things that are still going to fall through the cracks. Where I said enough was enough for me on a school campus, and I said I'm going to be more impactful on community-based side, was Baker Acts. That is where a person expresses a verbalized statement with the intent to do harm to themselves or someone else, and they are involuntarily placed in a safety space. South County Mental Health, does crisis response. 45th Street is an intake space. But think about the youth that
they don't get. I don't think the youth is.
No.
Is and I don't mean to cut you off. I honestly think that the youth is not getting all the services that they need.
That's
because
my point.
Number one, you have social media.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing, and people are bullied, cyberbullying, all this. When we were in school, we were just bullied in person.
Mm-hmm.
But you got all this cyberbullying going on, and people coming on there and they want to, some fights, I understand, get started on social media. It's just a lot of stuff. And I just think that these kids are falling through the cracks. There's just not enough services to help them and to deal with what they're going through. And then, the parents are trying to work and trying to deal with it. So I really dig what you're doing.
It's real. It's extremely real, and it's not just contained into the box of a school campus. So, for people who are still trying to figure out, well, okay, I hear and I get it, and let me just help further connect the dots and weave a web for you. So you have a family who sends the best babies they got to school every day. Mom and dad may have some, interpersonal challenges as adults, right?
Right.
Maybe they're having a conflict in their marriage or in their co-parenting relationship that has absolutely nothing to do with the child, but
it trickles down.
Okay.
Because you can have single parents.
Then you have those same two adults show up in the workspace the same way the child shows up in the school space every day. You take that one person and the other parent as a singular individual, and if they are not finding a way to have personal alignment within themselves, and then they're still coming back together every day to co-parent that child it's going to be, it's like plop, plop, fizz, fizz, Alka-Seltzer meets, you know, water, vinegar meets baking soda in a glass. It bubbles over and it fizzes out. And so,
and it's so much.
The reason why it's important to have those scaffolded layers of supports on a school campus is because no one school counselor can't manage all of that. No administrator can. No one behavioral health professional can. And no one co-located therapist can treat and give clinical therapy to the students that are being referred by the dozens. There is not enough support. So the supports must take place in community as well. So here I am.
There you go. Yeah.
Here I
love
am.
That.
So that's what I was trying to get to. I'm the person that is really doing my best to bring some cohesion to the community-based supports that exist back on 2 school campuses, but bridge gaps.
Got to bridge the gap. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And suicide prevention is at the top tier of it all. That is the why. You got to be here. You got to be here. Too many people have lost their lives to suicide. Too many folks have had suicidal ideations that they don't speak of. They carry those feelings and then they project those behaviors out into the world, and that's the chaos that we see.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, but I'm just praying. I'm praying for a better tomorrow, and I'm praying that these kids and anybody get all the help they need, especially the children, because to me the children are our future, and they're the ones that kind of suffer the most because they're there watching all of this, you know. And I used to tell parents, especially when I worked in the WIC department, I said, listen, your kids are watching you. They're watching me. My kids watch me, and they taking all that stuff in. Don't give them ringside seats to crazy stuff. You know, a child shouldn't have to deal with adult problems. You know, granted, you're 2 imperfect people trying to co-parent. Think about the child. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I want you to tell me, you just told me about your job now. Where do you see yourself with this job that you have? Because this, I know you said this is your baby. I could tell. This is your baby. I feel in my spirit that your passion is helping people. And that's perfect to help you with this job. But where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with this? And also, do you see any help coming into what you're doing? Do you see other people coming? I mean, I think I should say it like this. Are you going to advocate to get some more people to help you out? Because you can't do this by yourself.
Thank you for just knowing that and noticing that. Sometimes it does feel like a labor of love. Sometimes it does feel like, oh boy, Kenya, you have done that thing again where you've either bitten off more than you can chew, or you're not going to see the fruits of your labor for a really long time.
You're already seeing it.
But
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a trick of the enemy. It's a trick of the enemy when those.
That's so you can throw the towel in.
Yeah, but I care too much, and my phone rings too much. My phone rings too much for me to throw in any towel. So where do I see myself in the next 5 years?
5, 10 years, 2 years.
All right, 2 years.
And are you going? The next question after that is, are you going to advocate to get you some help?
All right. So in one fell swoop, let me answer that question. I already have help. I'm not alone. I don't work alone. Good. Sometimes people see me because I'm the mouthpiece or the face of. But any and everywhere that you see this Get Your Green On symbol that's on the front of my shirt, know that was a mental health awareness campaign that was started by students at Atlantic High School and youth and community. It grew through Village Academy and spilled outward, and we have over 6,000 partners now that carry the message of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, green is the associated color, and in 2021, we added the color orange to symbolize unity across the partnership and to give us a platform called Get Your Green On 365. And that gives us a platform and a voice to turn the volume high all year long on it's okay to be okay. It's okay not to be
not
okay.
To be okay, yeah.
While May is Mental Health Awareness Month and green is the associated color,
Should be,
there are months dedicated along the calendar year. Like September is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. October is Depression Awareness Week embedded in there. We have huge support through our municipalities. We've gotten proclamation after proclamation. We could probably hang some on the walls around here. We've got big partnerships with organizations like NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, Mental Health America, all of our nonprofits that are directing their services and providership around behavioral health have pretty much come alongside us. Even government officials have come alongside us.
And that's important there.
So where we need the continued support is for people to tap into those channels that already exist. We're not reinventing the wheel with anything. Like if you go on getyourgreenon.org right now, you'll see a whole history and stories and videos, and you can order t-shirts that look like mine, and carry the banner high with us. So I do have help on that front. And in the Healthier Delray space, community is a loud voice that shows up for me whenever I ask. We partner together flawlessly and seamlessly across the calendar year, from physical health initiatives to mental health initiatives to just financial well-being, bringing hope, health, and healing to everybody from seniors to zero to 100. Helping people understand the value of prevention and intervention. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So like I have so much help on that space. Where help is needed is to hear that message, and then a like, a tag, a share goes a long way. If you see we're having an event, please come out. If you can't make it, share it, tell somebody else. Yeah. Right? If it's not a resource that you need today, hold on to it.
You might need it tomorrow.
You might need it tomorrow.
And you might know somebody that
and your neighbor,
it.
Right? Your neighbor, your sister, your cousin, your friend, your auntie, your goddie. Somebody might need that resource, if not today, tomorrow. And so many of us suffer things through grief and loss and silence. People put a timetable on grief, like, oh.
There's no timetable. Let me tell you something. I'm just going to tap into that right quick. This is your show. You're the star. But I'm going to show you something. I lost my mother in 1997. Baby.
My condolences.
Thank you, baby. I'm here to tell you, there's not a day that going to go by that I don't think about her. Some days are harder than others. And I mean, my parents, both of my parents, but I'm saying, girl, and the holidays come, I'm like, oh my gosh, the holidays are here. Okay. The holidays are here, and I'm like, oh wow, So you're absolutely right.
Perfect example.
There's no time to grieve.
How we've addressed just our arms around grief and loss in community. Sure, through all of the platform that I just shared, through the organizations that I just shared, but even closer and more proximate to community are events like Spill the Tea on Health, our grief and loss edition, where we had clinicians in the room and people felt safe to talk about their personal journey. Right. Look at others that they know and feel comfortable with, and say, even if I don't know you, I know there's a clinician over here, and if I have an emotional moment, or I shed a couple tears, there's somebody that's going to hold me up, lift me up, and give me some strategies. I'm not walking out of here empty-handed the way that I came in.
That's right.
And we attempted to fill people's emotional cups. So we've actually hosted 3 of those, and 2 of them have been around the topic of grief and loss, because that's what people continue to ask for.
And I'm telling you, it's a wonderful thing. Now, I want you to tell them all the platforms you're on, but before we do that, I want you all to look at this beautiful care package that this young lady gave me, and she hit it right on the head. I could squeeze this and release some stress, especially before I go on the stage. I'm always nervous. People don't believe it, but I am. And this right here, to me, It's the most wonderful thing. You see what this says? This says never give up. I want y'all to see that. This is perfect. I can write my little notes in here, and a song comes in my head. I can write, you know. I mean, but that right there is perfect. Never give up. So never give up no matter what you're going through. There's pencils in here. You know, I always need that because I'm writing. Cute little crayons. I love this because, you know, I love colors. Look at this. But this is beautiful and I love it, and I can take it with me. I can put this in here when I'm, you know, getting ready to write. I like to go to the water and write and stuff like that, or just when I'm at home and whatever. Yeah. But I just want to thank you again, young lady, but I want you to provide all the platforms you're on, phone numbers, websites, and just tell us where we can contact you in case they need it, because you're going to always need these services here. And I just want to say again, I am so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Very proud.
The time has really flown by, and I know that there's so much more that I could say.
Oh, I'm going to have you back. Trust me.
Oh, gosh. I feel like this happens all the time. I run out of time. But where people can find me is on social media. I'm Kenya Delray Beach on both Instagram and Facebook. Kenya like the country, Delray Beach like the city. Kenya Delray Beach is my work profile. Healthier Delray Beach is our work profile. It's Healthier Delray Beach on Instagram and Facebook. My phone number is 561-926-3032, and that rings directly to me.
Repeat that again.
561-926-3032, and that rings directly to me. So I'm just going to ask you to be respectful of that. I do receive my own emails. I have to say that. I don't know if that's a thing, but I receive my own emails, and my email address is Kenya like the country, Kenya, Kenya, .Delray like the city, at HT Hotel Tango PBC like Palm Beach County .org. And those are the platforms in which you can find me that I'm most responsive to. I do have landing pages of healthierdelraybeach.org. You can also find information about who and what I'm connected to through Pathways to Prosperity as a nonprofit organization, and Palm Health Foundation as our funder. So Pathways to Prosperity and Palm Health Foundation. But if you just Google Healthier Delray Beach, all that information will come right back to you.
Okay, you have an address, like a building that you're at in case they have to come?
We do have a physical location where you can come to. I can't promise you that I will be physically there when you arrive, but the address there is 1105 North Federal Highway, Boynton Beach, Florida 33435.
And can they make appointments to see you, or they can just go on the website and make appointments? That's what I wanted to.
If folks want to see me or reach out to me directly, I would suggest just to give me a phone call or a text message at the phone number 561-926-3032. I do have a phone number there, but we're in transition, so I won't give it out just yet. But phone number, email address, and then if you inbox me on any of those platforms, if you send me a direct message on Instagram or a message on Messenger, I do check those periodically, and I will respond to you there.
Okay, so there you have it. This beautiful, beautiful queen. Please, let's support Miss Kenya. I mean, she's doing a wonderful, wonderful job. I'm proud of you again. I'm going to keep saying it because we have to let people know that we're proud of them. And, you know, everybody is not going to support what you do, but I support you because this is a wonderful thing that you're doing. To go to school, to get your degrees, and to come back and give to your community. Just coming back, giving to your community. Because like I said, you could have went anywhere, but you chose to come back here. It's a reason why. Because there's a calling on your life.
Thank you.
There's a calling on your life, and we need this, especially for the young people in school now. It's so different from when we were in school. So we're going to say good night. Happy New Year's to you guys. Happy New Year. May it bring you peace and blessings and all that good stuff. And thank you, Diaspora TV, for having such a beautiful show as this and others. Thank you, Mr. Allen. Thank you, Mr. Donald. And God bless my cousin, Miss Kenya.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Always.
I appreciate you.
And I'm going to have you again. Y'all hear that? We're going to have her again. All right.
Thank you, Mom.
Good night. Love you. That's right. Thank you, Mom. Good night. Bye-bye.